Like, I don't get to edit it, I don't get to market it, I don't get to make a plan, I don't get to make a thumbnail, I'll not make posters. Like, how come I just need to reach set, get into hair and makeup, know my lines, perform, and then I can chill? I, in fact, never wanted to get married growing up. Like, I would watch these films and I would love watching them and I would enjoy the stories. But I never wanted to get married. Also, I grew up very close to my parents. I am very close to my parents. And I would always grow up saying, why will I leave this house and go live with a boy? What great can come out of this? How much better can my life get? I'm living with, like, it's at this age, it's almost like living with roommates. Like, we chill all together all the time. So I grew up that till I watched Vivah. That was actually quite the shocker when I came on screen for the first time. I was just like, I'm huge. And I don't mean it in a way that I look fat or like I look thin. But just like that scale of me, I couldn't kind of comprehend. Having said that, nothing comes close to the things I learned when I was doing theatre. Because I was so young and I started earning money, that was also a motivation for me to do theatre, I'll be very honest with you. And I didn't have the best experience. I had planned my entire life out for me. I was like, this is exact. ऐसे चल रही थी मैं. I was like, इधर नहीं देखना, उधर नहीं देखना. Auditions scare the shit out of me. Like, I am so nervous and underconfident at auditions. I'm always extremely overwhelmed. I will, मतलब, to overcompensate, मैं अपना ही काम खराब करके आ जाती हूँ हर audition से. ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
You would have to be almost and completely insane not to be in love with her. She is a bona fide star. She is someone who has paved a path that has led many to follow, and today it has become an industry of its own, and she has been one of the pioneers of that. Even today she is finding new things to dabble into, and Ye Shaadi Nahi Ho Sakti is her first teleplay, and she is kind of exploring new things again, and it's my pleasure today to be sitting in the company of the amazing Mostly Sane aka Prajakta Koli.
Hi.
So Prajakta, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you. That was such a sweet intro. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have to start by saying, like, this is your first teleplay.
It is.
And like, teleplay is not something that many people are aware about even today. It has been an old thing, like people have been doing it for a long time. For you, when was the first time it was approached to you? What was your reaction to it? Did you know about teleplays happening, and what all was it?
I mean, the minute Akash said teleplay, I thought it's going to be a play that we perform on a stage and there'll just be cameras set around the stage and then we'll cut between scenes and it'll be like that. But I didn't realize it was going to be like this till I actually got on set, because A, it's an Akarsh Khurana project. I'll be stupid to say no. B, the minute I found out that it's an adaptation of Taming of the Shrew, but with like a 90s Bollywood masala twist, I was just like Shikha said this in an interview and I couldn't agree more. If I was not a part of this, I would be so upset. I would have so much FOMO. Thirdly, I'm such a huge fan. I grew up watching films like that, like from the Hum Aapke Hai Kaun to Hum Mera Hi Pyar Ke, Hum Saath Saath Hai, all the Suraj Barjatya, Priyadarshan, you know, films that we've, David Dhawan, like all these films that we've watched, and it'll just be stupid to not jump at this opportunity, honestly. So when I got on set is when I found out कि oh, we're shooting it like this. मतलब पूरा का पूरा घर बना दिया था उन्होंने. Like it was, we were shooting on a real life set. But I understood the whole teleplay. I understood the whole theatre bit that came into it when we were doing these transition shots. Like you'll see when you watch the play, you'll see these transition shots ki camera pan ho raha hai, and while the camera is panned, we have gone and we have changed. And while the camera comes back here, we've again entered frame. And like all of that is very theatre-esque. So that, wo sab jab kiya, tab I was like, okay, what a beautiful kind of collaboration of these two platforms.
The way you explained it, na, mere dimag mein wo chal laga, chale jaise hawaye.
Exactly like that. Yeah. But like scenes are happening, days have passed, clothes have changed, setup has changed. Like there's a video that I should probably share on my social media when kind of the play comes out. कि एक बार ऐसे हुआ था कि the scene खत्म हुआ and the camera panned out और सारे actors and all the production, everyone came and they're cleaning the dining table. Aadhar has gone from under the dining table and left, and a new setup has happened. It was so chaotic but so beautiful to look at. And me and Cheese were just looking and watching all of this play out. It was so great.
Yeah, and like as you said, na, it's an Akarsh Khurana directorial,
Yeah.
so you have to say yes.
Yeah.
You have an association with him. Did you notice a difference in his direction process this time around? Because it is a different kind of a medium altogether.
Definitely. I mean, I have never had the pleasure of doing theatre with him, honestly. I really wish I get that opportunity sometime. But like, kyunki this is very 90s, so it's over the top. Like, if you see the trailer, everything is very like it's over. And that never happens on an Akarsh set, at least the sets that I have spent time on. Where when we were shooting Mismatched Kabhi Kabhi, I remember there was this one scene we were shooting when he came up to me and he's like, "Itna nahi hai kuch. Calm down." For one of my reactions, he had said that. When we were shooting the wedding episode, he's like, "It's not so like, you know." And I realized, "Ke okay, no, downplay. But here, I would do something which was over and then I would look at him. कि अभी कुछ बोलेगा नहीं. He was like, no, correct. So that contrast was quite fun.
But Prajakta, I have to say, like, you started with YouTube, you moved on to Reels as well, then you did shows, then you did film, now you're doing teleplay. Is there anything you have left to achieve?
Whatever there is to offer, honestly, like, I'm just so happy that I get to live this life, and my job is basically just trying new things, and I'm also very fortunate that I get these opportunities also. That I get to try new things, and honestly I love that. There is no monotony, and the good thing is that I don't have to choose one. The fact that I have the freedom to choose. I'd never thought that something like this would get made, honestly, in today's day and age. And it's not a parody. It's a tribute, but it's not a parody. We're not making fun of the medium. We're actually owning up to it. Like, we are showing how much we loved that way of storytelling. And I never thought I'd get this opportunity. So I just honestly feel so happy to be in a space where I get to do these things. And having said that, I never thought I would do these. Yeah, I thought when a YouTuber started, that is how much it'll be. Like, my life is going to be there. And I never thought these doors would open up. So I just feel extremely grateful. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, chalo, let's see now. Some things will work, some will not. But I'm at least getting to try things.
Yeah, I remember watching an interview of yours. It was before acting, and the way you used to speak then, that has not changed at all. I've seen the enthusiasm is still remain intact, and I really feel happy about that, because you see that kind of shift happen in people once they kind of change mediums, or the success kind of affects it. That is very commendable, or that has not changed, because that was before even Mismatched had happened. So it's very commendable.
Thank you.
I must say that. But firstly, for you, when you switched to acting, basically you decided that you wanted to pursue acting as well. What was the biggest challenge to kind of make the transition as a person who was already a YouTube celebrity? Because I remember that before the show released, there was a lot of skepticism around, will you be able to pull off a show
Mismatched.
and acting kind of a thing? So what was the biggest challenge for you to make the transition?
Thank God I didn't know about this skepticism, honestly. I would have lost my marbles if I knew about it. I think for me, the way I was looking at it was, I came from a space of, even like, I used to do theatre before I did radio. So I knew that I loved acting, and I kind of used to gain that pleasure from doing content on YouTube. So if I was doing a character, if I was writing a character, I was playing the character, I was acting. Till I stepped out of my universe, and now suddenly I was playing characters I had not written. And there was a moment I remember before we did the first shot, my first ever shot on Mismatched season 1 was when she enters the classroom, she looks for a place, and then she sees that the only seat free is next to Rishi, and she's like, oh, and she walks out of the frame. That was my first shot. And I remember I was standing outside my classroom, and they were like, okay, everything's set, all right, cam rolling, sound rolling. And I remember feeling the lack of confidence suddenly, because I was like, I have not written her. I don't know her. How do I be her? You know, like she's not come from me. But it was just that one moment, I think. And I think that's where Akarsh had a huge role to play. He made my life I couldn't have asked for a better first director. I couldn't have. It's just fortunate that he happened to also become a friend. I mean, for me, it's extremely fortunate that he's one of my closest friends right now. I can pick up the call on him at a reasonable hour when he's not asleep. I'll be like, okay, I need to talk. And he'll listen. And he's guided me through so many emotional roller coasters, personally also, professionally also. So I remember that moment. And that's when I realized that, okay, this is new. Also, I used to find it very tough to, as soon as cut happens, I used to find it very tough to not go and see playback. Because when I used to do YouTube, I used to go and immediately see playback to check if focus is right, colors are right, was the frame right. I also had trouble understanding ki, oh, I just act and then I go. Like I don't get to edit it, I don't get to market it, I don't get to make a plan, I don't get to make a thumbnail, I'll not make posters. Like how come I just need to reach set, get into hair and makeup, know my lines, perform and then I can chill. When everyone else is still working, I get to chill, which was a very new thing for me. But that just lasted the first couple of days, I think, because the whole bunch was so much fun.
Yeah.
That I just hit it off and then it was a lot of fun.
भाई इतने कम की आदत नहीं है, ज़्यादा काम की आदत है.
मतलब हर चीज में involved होने की आदत थी. I think that was the
to have the kind of an overview kind of thing.
Yeah.
And since it said ये शादी नहीं हो सकती. And when we say about शादी ना, Bollywood has built up our expectations to next level.
Yeah.
ठीक है. So growing up, what was your expectations of your शादी after seeing? Was it influenced by the pop culture?
I'll tell you how it was influenced. And my mother also tells this story very often. I, in fact, never wanted to get married growing up. Like, I would watch these films and I would love watching them and I would enjoy the stories. But I never wanted to get married. Also, I grew up very close to my parents. I am very close to my parents. And I would always grow up saying, why will I leave this house and go live with a boy? What great can come out of this? How much better can my life get? I'm living with... like it's at this age it's almost like living with roommates, like we chill all together all the time. So I grew up that till I watched Vivah. I watched Vivah, I was like, Ma, now I want to get married. Some prem will come. I will take one glass of pani and sharbat, jal and rasna to him, and it's the strangest thing. And my mom was just like, really? Arranged marriage convinced you to get married, not our marriage of so many years, which is a love marriage.
That is actually a very unique inspiration.
Yeah, so उसके बाद मुझे लगा मैं नहीं शादी तो करेंगे.
अब तो करनी है.
अब तो करनी है.
I feel like मेरे को ना शादी नहीं, मेरे को संगीत करना. That's the only thing I want to.
You don't want a marriage, you want a wedding.
Yes, I want a wedding.
But then again, you know, I was also like, everyone says that. एंड देन वो काफ़ी देर तक चला कि नहीं शादी तो ऐसे करूँगी, शादी तो वैसे करूँगी. फिर पिछले 3-4 सालों में मैंने इतने लहंगे पहन लिए, मैंने इतना डांस कर लिया, इतनी मेहंदी लगा ली कि अब मेरा वो हो गया है. नाउ आई एम बैक टू नहीं, आई एम फाइन.
नहीं ठीक है. I relate to that Prajakta lot because I also don't want to get married. So वहाँ पे है. But like after doing shows and digital, because the show was still on OTT, so digital, that kind of platform, when you hit theaters, was it a kind of different feeling and the different kind of pressure of expectations for you?
I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I was so, my nervous energy was so built up by the time because I missed all promotions. I was not here. I was shooting in London when JugJugg was coming out. I literally landed 3 days before the film released in India. So I missed everything. I didn't get any chance to prep because there I would get up every day, go to work, come back, the time difference, I wouldn't talk to anyone. Also, my way of dealing with the nerves was that I'm not going to deal with it till I reach India. So when I landed in Mumbai, I remember all this energy was pent up and I couldn't get myself to think about anyone else but me. In a way that I was so nervous, so I kept calming myself only down. That like imagining worst case scenarios, even if it doesn't do well, what will happen? Like I was prepping, I was giving myself only that talk constantly. But I remember when I went to the screening, first of all, I've never seen my face so big. I'm used to laptop. The most is my TV. Mismatched भी वहीं पे देखा था. I did comedy premium league. वो भी वहीं पे देखा. YouTube videos भी वहीं पे. I have never seen myself that big, plastered on a massive screen moving. So for me, that was actually quite the shocker when I came on screen for the first time. I was just like, I'm huge. And I don't mean it in a way that I look fat or like I look thin, but just like that scale of me, I couldn't kind of comprehend. And then a lot of those feelings of like how much I had waited to do that, how much I didn't realize how much I had waited to see myself on screen for a Bollywood film, which is again Dharma. I'd never expected.
You had Dharma, you had co-stars like Varun, Kiara,
Exactly.
Anil, Neetu and Manish Paul.
Yeah.
Like, what else one can ask
Yeah,
for?
I couldn't have asked for a better first film.
Yeah. But you mentioned a bit earlier, na? I forgot to mention. Ki, matlab, you said you did radio
Yeah.
and before that theatre.
Yeah.
So sorry, the list I mentioned, I missed these two. So theatre, radio, please add that as well. So you have the tick mark.
I mean, I
that
wasn't
too.
great at radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you were doing the teleplay, did it bring back the theatre memories as well?
I'll be very honest with you. I was very young when I did theatre. I was 16 when I started doing it. I did it till I was 18. No. I was 17 when I started doing theatre. I did it till I was 19 or 20, I think. 2-3 साल किया था. And उस time पे I used to look at it as a fun thing. I had never thought कि इसमें I want to build a career. Like I want to spend the rest of my life doing theatre. That is not what I thought. Also because I was so young and I started earning money, that was also a motivation for me to do theatre. I'll be very honest with you. And I didn't have the best experience. I mean, as much as I loved being on stage and that was my respite every single time, but I was too young and I didn't know how to deal with a lot of things at that time. So my heart didn't break when I quit theatre. So somewhere, and I've done so much work that I enjoy every day, somewhere the memories of theatre have actually been kind of, they're a little more faded than I would imagine them to be. So I had expected that to happen, but also this was such a different contrasting experience that these were people I've looked up to, these are people that I've wanted to work with, and I get to be in the same place as them. B, it was Akarsh, and it was a lot of fun, which is not how I remember the theatre when I did it.
And I remember that when we see
but
social
can I
media,
just say that I don't want to sound ungrateful. Having said that, nothing comes close to the things I learned when I was doing theatre. The kind of, I remember signing my first autograph after my show. There was this very cute family that had come waiting outside mine. I was 18 and I was just like, wow. So there are so many things, but this was very different from that.
What I was about to say is that when we see social media celebrities, when they become actors, usually the first role that comes to them is either the friend, brother, sister, these kind of roles. You chose to do a leading role. And I'm sure that before that you must have got offers of these kind of roles as well. So
the voice of reason.
What was that voice of reason and how did you kind of convince yourself that I won't, at least for my first project, I won't settle for that kind of thing?
I really wish there was that much thought in it. Okay. But like I said, ever since, till YouTube, I had planned my entire life out for me. I was like, this is exact. ऐसे चल रही थी मैं. I was like, इधर नहीं देखना, उधर नहीं देखना. And then it didn't work out. So when I started doing YouTube, I told myself that, you know what, just put your guard down. You don't know what you're getting into, so you can't make plans. Let life happen and we'll see what happens. And that is the best decision I've taken. I don't stress myself out anymore over, what is the rest of my life going to be like? I don't know, and that's the best part. So I actually wish that there was more thought, and I would take credit for it. But there were a lot of stories that came to me. But for some reason, I just felt like, nahi maza aa raha hai. And I was happy. I am happy being a content creator. So I was like, rukte hain na, dekhte hain kya hota hai. This one, I mean, it's nice, but I don't know, I don't feel right. I'm not getting that whole vibe that, I definitely. Till Dimple came to me. And I was so surprised when Panchami called me. And auditions scare the shit out of me. Like I am so nervous and underconfident at auditions. I'm always extremely overwhelmed. I will, मतलब to overcompensate मैं अपना ही काम खराब करके आ जाती हूँ हर audition से, ऐसा मुझे लगता है. So when Panchami called me for that also, I was like, oh, audition, can't do. And उस time पे the show was called When Dimple Met Rishi. And yeah, so I was like, okay, I said, which character do you want me to test for? She's like, Akarsh, and I really want you to test for Dimple. And I was like, okay, and like RSVP is making it, it's for Netflix, and I was just like, oh, wow, okay. So it was too good an opportunity to give up, and I fell in love with her as soon as I met Dimple. So.
Yeah. And I remember earlier you mentioned कि initially you were like, I am used to seeing myself in the playback.
Yeah.
है ना कि मतलब shot दिया है देखना है. Today, when you see yourself as an actress, do you feel that those kind of insecurities have kind of gone away and there's a little more security in your craft as an actor?
I think that's also come from mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned. In fact, one of the incidents is Akarsh. Well, I used to take a lot of pride in the fact that I have never been... मुझे कभी डांट नहीं पड़ी आकर्ष से. I was that good child. मैंने इतने दिन शूट किया, मुझे आकर्ष से कभी डांट नहीं पड़ी. सबको डांट पड़ी है, मुझे कभी नहीं पड़ी. Till एक बार पड़ी. And that was for seeing playback when he was talking to me about the next shot. And that was a lesson. Because that's when I realized that, what am I doing? So उस दिन के बाद I never go and watch playback. And I realized that ऐसे ही सीखूंगी. There's no other way I'll learn these things. So, yeah.
And before that, you have taken interviews of people. You have met stars in that capacity. But
I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But JugJugg, you had that experience first time of working with stars.
Yeah.
Was there ever any moment initially that you felt a little intimidated or starstruck by
All the time. I'm still constantly intimidated and starstruck. I am constantly overwhelmed every day at work. Even like I remember reaching for Ye Shaadi Nahi Ho Sakti, reaching set, and my first shot was with Akash uncle, Pawan sir, and Shikha. And my scene was My scene was that I come down from the stairs and then I have a line कि मेरी दीदी तो ऐसी है, something like that line. I just couldn't say it. I kept slipping from the stairs. I kept fumbling. I kept saying, I was so nervous. So I feel like I'm still constantly starstruck with everyone I get to. Cheetah. Like when I was first doing my first shot with him, I was just so overwhelmed because these are just people who have done such great work, you know. So, and there's so much to learn from everybody. So it was the same in JugJugg.
Yeah. You have had memorable scenes on stairs, I guess. Even in JugJugg, there was a memorable scene.
Oh
on
yeah,
stairs.
the last scene
so
was
stairs
on the
and
stairs.
Prajakta have a connection.
That's true.
So and I'm excited to see that play out.
Thank
if
you
you have to tell one thing about Ye Shaadi Nahi Ho Sakti that makes it, what's the USP of it to the viewers? What would be?
I think the USP of it is with how much honesty it's been made, honestly. Like I said before, we are not trying to make fun of anything. It's a tribute to the kind of content that we've all loved growing up. The cast, I mean, I'm not saying because I am in it, but like everybody else, like just look at everyone. Why wouldn't you want? And it's a short commitment. It's some 50-55 minutes. It's something you can sit down with your family and watch. So it's on a Sunday. It's coming out on a Sunday. So it's great.
Perfect Sunday watch.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for giving me this time.
Akash.
Wish you lots and lots of love for Ye Shaadi Nahi Ho Sakti and everything you do in future.
Thank
you.
You
are doing tremendous work,
Thank
paving
you.
an incredible path for everyone.
I appreciate that.
Keep continuing doing
Thank
that. Keep
you.
continuing the person that you are. And thank you for this.
Thank you. Also, can I tell everyone where to watch it?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Prajakta Koli and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble, and I'm a part of, along with this amazing cast, a part of a teleplay called Ye Shaadi Nahi Ho Sakti, which is going to release on the 19th of February, which is a Sunday at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Tata Play Theatre. And if you miss it on that day, you can watch it on Tata Play app. It's a lot of fun. Please watch it and let us know what you think about it.